Good morning. Welcome to Ruby Wellness Academy. I'm Nancy Ruby, and today I'd like to share with you a short wake up for the day, a little warm up to get your prana flowing, which I call pranification. So let's begin by stepping into Tadasana and feeling that alignment that's so important that allows us to open our joints, engage our muscles, and keep our energy moving up and down that central axis of our spine. Dropping your feet firmly into the ground, push into the earth, spread your toes a little bit. And then from the earth, we're going to pull that stability of the earth element into our legs by drawing the energy up. Feel your muscles engage the bone. Unlock the knees, but firm the muscles around them. Pull that energy all the way up into your belly or your lower dantian, coming into that center, that anchor point in your pelvis. Also, draw the muscles right to the bone on either leg and hug both legs into midline. With all of that hugging, you should feel strong and steady. From that lower body stability, let's draw energy and lightness to the upper body, arm bones up, back, and down. So you sort of feel that sense of awakening, connecting into the present moment, starting the day or maybe taking a break in the middle of the day to realign yourself with your heart and soul. Rolling those shoulders around, opening that heart space, breathing deeply into that spaciousness in the center of your chest, and then that will bring a sense of invigorating energy into your life. Inhale up, exhale down. Feel the heat beginning. So today's practice, we're going to heat up all the joints to maximum capacity. Well, maybe about 80% of capacity. Don't want you to overdo. And then you move through a gentle salutation called Chandra Namaskar, Moon Salutation, and that's going to help open the hips in all directions. So can you feel those shoulders opening? Let's pause and just take one arm with a bent elbow and move that around and feel that connection from the center of your chest out through the shoulder, all the way through the arm, and slowly start to lengthen the arm and increase the leverage. So if you have any shoulder issues or you feel a little catch in there, adjust the length of the arm, elbow bent or straight, so you can slowly, gently, easily warm up that shoulder joint. Nice deep breath in, and notice the torso's moving too. So the arm bone connected to the chest bone. You want to let your body move in a way that allows this movement to feel free. Bring some freedom into your action. Other side. Let's roll that shoulder out. In the meantime, while we're rolling the shoulder, we're going to focus on the breath. So it's in, out, in. And we're going to get the breath a little bit more active today because the intention of this practice is to awaken your energy body, which I call pranification. So a few more times, playing with the different ways that you can move that arm around your torso. And then let's bring it right back down by our side. Shake it out a little bit. Now let's warm up the length of the spine, which is a series of joints. So I'll turn sideways so you can see the alignment. Anchoring your heels, draw the hands down the thighs just above the knees. Pressing into the legs firmly, push down into the hands to lift the heart. And then draw the shoulder blades a little closer together so you feel that spaciousness across the collarbones. As you lift the sitting bones, feel the gentle arch in your lower back, and at the same time, keep your belly toned to support the length of your spine. Let's sink the back body towards the front body. Give a little engagement there. And then from the tailbone, we'll draw under, shifting the form of the spine. Elbows go wide and we stretch. Take a few breaths here. Stretching into the back body all the way through the neck. And then we'll bring the elbows in, sink a little bit into the heels to lift the sitting bones and open the heart. Let's do that a few times. Exhale. And inhale, this simple cat-cow movement. not only warms up the muscles across the back and your chest, but we're giving a nice massage to the discs between the vertebral bodies, between your spinal bones. And those discs are like jelly donuts. We want them to be light and fluffy. And so we gently compress them back and forth, and that's going to bring a lovely circulation all along your spine. Go just to those first points of resistance. And then we'll stay open, press into the heels, and then slowly come up. Bring your hands up the midline of your body and open up. Then release the arms down, and we'll come right back to the heart. Make sure you're standing about shoulder width apart as we go through this next series of warm-ups for shoulders and hips. We want to open these four corners of our torso. I call them the gateways because the rotation, the range of motion in the shoulders and hips have everything to do with the comfort of our spine, the mobility of our spine. So let's bring the arms up and overhead, and then bringing the hands together right down midline, pushing back into those heels, coming back into that squat. Okay, now instead of rounding the cat, you're simply going to lift elbows in, keep your belly toned, spine long, and stretching the back of the legs. And then sink back down, way back into the heels so your knees are behind your toes, and then push down to lift up. Exhale, release. Let's repeat that. Inhale, take it up. Down through center, way back, so make sure your knees aren't out here. Lift the bottom up, stretching the hamstrings, and then back down into your seat. Pull up through center. Release the arms down. With a breath this time. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, down center. Keep the head up, heart open as you stretch into your hamstrings. And then sit back down into your heels. Push down to lift up. And out. Then let it go nice and easy, flowing through the motion. So we're awakening our inner fire, and we're going to do so in a really sweet way, right? So we're not going to burn ourselves out. We want to wake up and then keep a little element of water, which is why we're flowing. Okay? So water will help calm down that fire. In the meantime, hug the muscles to the bone, okay, to keep the safety around your joints, and feel how your soft tissues are warming up. We're going to do this one more time all the way through. And release. Okay, now we're going to go through 4 different actions that are going to warm up again the hips and shoulders, and we're going to repeat those. And the intention behind these movements are to get a lot of heat generated in our shoulders and hips, and through that heat generating, we're actually going to help to strengthen our joints. So the first movement, try this with me, keeping the feet shoulder width apart. The arms come forward. Here we are squatting again, getting way back in the heels so your knees are behind your toes. So please avoid this action. Bottom up. You don't have to go that low. And then you're going to stand straight back up. So that's the action. And we're going to do it quite vigorously. So get the range of motion that feels just right for you. And the arms stop right at shoulder height. And we're going to inhale and exhale. That's the first movement. The second movement is with the arms. Okay, so we're going to take the arms straight up in front of us. Notice it doesn't go above the shoulder. It's stop, stop, stop. And you want to hug the muscles to the bone. And you want to think of hugging your arm bone into your shoulder girdle. So no flopping about, just nice and steady and strong. The next movement, okay, is going to be taking the hands together in front and then big opening to the top. So big range of motion. And I'm going to give you an option so that if this bothers your shoulders, sometimes this abduction of the shoulder girdle is hindered. So instead you'll do what's called the breaststroke. You'll come up and around. Try this out. This feels good anyways. You might just want to do this. And then the last movement is kind of a celebration. The arms come up and we just push overhead. And you want to do that keeping your abdomen engaged. You can let your knees bend like I'm doing, but really hold strong at your core. Okay, now we're going to go through this repeatedly, and we're going to gain some heat inside. So steady yourself in your alignment. Let your breath go, and we'll do 10 rounds of each. So ready? Release your breath. Take a deep breath in. Once again, let go. And here we go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep the belly toned. 8, 9, 10. Now arms. 1, 2. Strong and steady on your feet. 8, 9, 10. Now bringing the hands together in front and lift. Keeping that belly tone, the legs well grounded. The option, of course, is up through the center. And one more, and release. Now arms overhead. Like you're pushing a weight overhead. Good, and release. This time, 15 of each. Ready? Rest your eyes on something out in front of you. Feel the energy. 5 more. And standing, now the arms. 5 more. Keeping those muscles strong and together in front. Really tone the belly so you're really squeezing to midline. You can always shorten the leverage, bending the elbows and release, arms overhead. 5 more. Woo! And release. 1 more round. This time 20 of each. Just shorten your leverage. Slow it down a little if you need to. And here we go. Strong and steady. Weight back in your heels. Heart wide open. Feel those muscles between your shoulder blades staying well contracted. Let's do 10 more. All right, and the arms. Nice and relaxed through the eyes and the jaw. 10 more. Hugging those muscles to the bone. And arms in front or breaststroke. This is a modification. If you need to have the range of motion, do it this way. Make those strong shoulders support you. And last one, kind of a celebration, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 more. And release and just feel that. So take some nice deep breaths. Now at times you might just do those 4 movements. I recommend doing that 2 to 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. maybe not too late at night because it's very invigorating, but just to bring that awakening to your joints, the movement of your breath, and that's actually going to create a physiological response in your body called a release of nitric oxide, and that component helps our muscles rebuild themselves. So we're going to be building muscle during the day after you do those movements. Now let's do a deep stretch if you'd like to continue with me. Grab 2 blocks. And place them just in front of you facing the long edge of your mat. Step into mountain pose, and we will now practice Chandra Namaskar. Let the feet ground down, spreading wide as you press the earth. Again, feel that engagement through your whole body, lifting you tall through the crown of your head. Let your breath go. Feel your heart still beating. And then inhale, take the arms up, grab a wrist, and we'll go into a side bend. Coming back to center. Nice deep breath in. Other side. Into center. And then as we bring the arms out, we're going to step very wide. So come into straddle. Turn the palms up. And you might want to turn the heels in a little bit or a lot. Find what's comfortable. And then come down and bend the knees and the elbows. See that your knees are really open over your toes. So adjust your feet. We call this goddess pose. So we're going to push into the heels, squeeze the muscles of the legs and hips. Come back up into star. Exhale. Exhale across the throat like we are fire-breathing dragon. This pose is called Kaliasana. And Kali is the goddess of destruction, of transformation. So she's going to burn out what no longer serves you. Feel your strength and power to create transformation in your own life. Now, last time, push into it. And then as you rise, we'll turn the hips, and I'll mirror you to your right. So turn your pelvis and your legs. Let your left hand come to your hip. You're pushing down strongly. And then we're going to reach out and gently come into triangle. So the hips push back and up, and we come down. And here's where you can use your block, putting your fingertips on your block. And this first round, we're going to really make sure that we get to know our foundation. How wide do you need to go? Firming the legs, your front leg turning out, your back leg turning in. Bottoms up, belly toned, and then rotating that chest open. Take the shoulder blades on the back, especially that lower shoulder tends to come forward. And then maybe reach the top arm up. So feel Utthita Trikonasana. Imagine yourself expanding from the very center of your body, from the core of your pelvis, and moving that energy, that prana that you just awakened, move it out in all directions through your forelimbs and the crown of your head. From this open position, we're going to come into a forward bend. So looking down, release your hand to your hip, and we're going to move from the pelvis. Start to rotate the pelvis. This is where the second block comes in handy. As we turn the pelvis, soften your front knee, step up a little bit so you can turn the pelvis all the way, squaring it towards the ground. Front knee can bend a little, but back leg super strong and straight. Adjust your hands, and then releasing the chin slowly round over the front leg, drawing the front hip back and the back hip forward. So you're squaring the pelvis, and then inviting the front leg to straighten into the stretch of your hamstring. So opening the back of the leg. Breathing into sensation. No force, no strain. If you're down lower, you could lower the blocks. Some of you might be able to have your hands on the floor.
Ease into that. Feel how you've quieted your heart a bit after our warm-ups. Now let the front knee bend directly over your heel. The back heel comes off the ground. You're going to reach back and bring the knee to the ground. Pressing down into the floor. Hug your legs towards each other so you feel that stability again, right into the belly. Pressing the hands onto the thigh. Scoop the belly. And then bringing the hands to the hips. Aligning. Lifting the side body from hip to armpit. And then choosing cactus. Or nice big open V, or drawing the arms closer. So notice how your shoulders feel as you sink your hips and open your heart. Breathe into the spaces you're creating here. Now we're opening the front of that back leg. One more breath. And as you're ready to come down, keep the belly toned. Bring your hands to the inside of the front leg. Back toes under. Lift your hips, straightening the leg. And then we're going to turn, swiveling towards the long edge of the mat. And then letting your right knee bend and going into the inner left thigh. Now what's important here is you pull way back. Get your weight way back in your heels. Toes are light. Bottoms up. Spine is long. Ease into the hips and breathe. You can adjust your hands. You want to keep that chest wide open and your spine in a neutral alignment. Then let's lift up and over to the other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. So again, swing the hips up and back as you ease into your inner right thigh. Toning the belly to keep that stability in your torso. And then drinking the breath in and pouring it out. Now we're going to turn towards your left as we swivel the feet, walk around, and lower the back knee. So crescent moon on this side, foundation. As the hand comes up, align the spine into a gentle extension, backward bending. Open the heart. So the intention here is moving energy through our body, awakening for the day or reawakening anytime during the day. Nice opening. So this is Moon Salutations. So it's a nice balance for all the fiery awakening we did in the warm-ups. One more deep breath in. Ease into your hips. Open your heart. Maybe take your gaze up. And then releasing down. Now hands on either side of the front leg. Taking the hips out of the lunge, slide your front foot back a few inches, about 6 inches. And then you can lift up high. And we're going to plant the back heel at an angle to rotate the pelvis and square it towards the floor. Maybe create a little length in your spine and then a gentle forward fold. This is called pyramid pose. Quieting down, looking inside, giving a nice deep opening to your hips. Parsvottanasana means deep side extension. So feel that stretch through that front leg, all the way into your hip. Transitioning from pyramid, we'll go into triangle. So first let the front knee bend. I like to step a little wider for my triangle. Take the hand and the block, if you're using them, right next to your ankle. Pushing into the earth with your legs, lift your belly, ribs, and chest. And then you're going to rotate the rib cage forward. Okay, so avoid pulling hard on your hip. You'll move from your belly to open. Okay. Look down, check to see that that kneecap is facing your middle toes. So you're rotating that front leg out, right? And the back leg gently in. Strong and steady in the lower body. And then create that lightness through the upper body. Very little weight on that hand that's on the floor. Support yourself from the core. expanding like the star that you are. Anchor down into the earth. We're coming up. Inhale. Turn the feet towards the long edge of the mat. Come into your goddess. Bring your energy into your core. You're going to move from the center and step to your right. And then side bend. Now we're pressing out through the hip. Feel it all the way down the side of the leg, side of the torso. Back up to center. Other side. Inhale to center. Bring it back to your heart. And we'll repeat on the other side. So together, let's inhale the arms down, out, and overhead. Side bend, either side. Center inhale. Not in a hurry. Really utilize the breath to move you through the different forms. Inhale, center. Now we'll step wide to your left and come into goddess. Let's go up and down just once. Inhale. Exhale. As we come up, inhaling, turning the pelvis and the legs to your left, and then exhale down for your triangle. So if you're not using blocks, you could use your leg. Roll open the chest. Take the hand up, inhale. Hold for a few breaths. Now eventually you could do this with one inhale or one exhale, but I like to take my time because it really lets your energy flow more throughout your body. Let's turn our head, our gaze to the floor and release. Let the front knee bend. So if you're not using blocks, you got to come all the way to the floor. Adjust your foundation more narrow, square the hips, and round. Let the front knee bend, the back heel comes up, dropping the back knee to the earth. Hug the legs to midline and come up into crescent moon. On your next exhalation, bring the hands inside that front leg. Lift the hips high, swivel. Come around to the long edge of the mat. And then bending your left knee, ease into your inner right thigh. So I like to put my hand, when I'm not using blocks, hand on thigh. So play around. Open the hips, come to center as you inhale. And exhale over to the other side. Find your way into that inner left thigh. And then we'll turn again towards the short end of the mat, lowering the back knee. Foundation. Coming all the way up, knee directly over your ankle. Okay. Drawing the tailbone to the earth, and then opening up into that gentle back bend. As you lower the hands this time, they're on either side of that front leg. And then again, if you want, slide the front foot back. Sometimes that's easier. And then you plant the back heel and forward fold pyramid. Set the foundation for triangle. Take your right hand either to the floor behind your ankle or onto your shin. Left hand to hip, lift belly, ribs, and chest, and then rotate from your ribs. Take the shoulder blades together and open your heart. Triangle. With your next inhalation, rise up. Turn the heels in, toes out. Exhale, goddess. Rise from center, step to your left. And side bend. Center, deep breath in. And release other side. Deep breath into center. And then let's release the arms. Come back to the heart. Step into mountain pose. Feel what you've created internally. And then let's add a little bit of a twist. So we've moved our spine in all directions, forward, back, side to side. We've awakened our shoulders. We've stretched and opened the hips in all directions. So let's take the feet shoulder width apart, grab a wrist, sit down a little bit, not tucking the tail, just softening the knees. Drop the shoulders away from your ears, and then just gently draw back from your elbow. Let your hips remain facing forward and your knees remain open. So kind of pull your heels in as you pull your knees out. So it's like you're sitting on a horse. It's called horse stance. So lower body, again, is very steady. Upper body, light and free. And let's get the breath going. So I like to inhale to the back and exhale as I sweep around. Think of it as clearing your lungs out. And if you'd like to turn the head, make sure you focus on a spot directly behind you so you don't get dizzy. And if you tend to get dizzy, you can just keep your eyes forward. Nice and easy, shoulders relaxed, heart lifted. Feel that rotation. Maybe go a little slower if that feels better. Everybody draw your gaze forward. Okay, drawing the gaze forward, letting that energy slow down. Let your arms go, nice and easy. And then shake it all out. Shake out the legs. Come back into that mountain pose. Stand firm on your own 2 feet. Lift your heart and head. Maybe even close your eyes. Recognize what you've created for yourself through the action, moving your body, moving your breath, awakening your prana. And now you are prepared to step into your day, feeling vibrant, relaxed. And let's take the hands to the heart and remember how we can draw our attention to that heart space, remembering who we are, and feel soulful. Thank you for joining me. Namaste. And we'll see you next time.